Hey guys, Cole here. Welcome to another Racial Legends video. Guys, this one will be a fun one. So we've got the Void 2x event that's going on right now. It's going to be for the whole weekend. So we're going to have 4 days of the summoning event. We've got a 10x going on right now for Shadowkin champions. These specific champions right here. But this video will be all about Void champions and which ones I would say, okay, I'm starting a brand new account. Clarium is going to bless that account with 8 champions, whatever my choice. They can be legendaries, epics, and rares. Which champions am I gonna pick so that that account can go all the way as further as I can go within this game and the fastest? Okay, which champions will take me there the soonest? So if you guys have any of those champions in mind, just leave it down in the comments right now. And while you're at it, just click that subscribe and like button, and let's get on with the video. So 8 champions. Which champions would I choose? First things first, I think the legendaries are obvious. The Void legendaries are fantastic. There's so many Void legendaries in this game that I could have my pick of in order to progress through the game. I mean, there's Ethos right here, who could be my farmer. There's Arbiter, although she can be, you can acquire her from missions. Let's say you start a brand new account. Would she be my choice instead of anybody else in terms of having her in the leader slot, getting that great speed boost in the arena, getting that great speed boost through her A3 and also the increased attack? Would that be better than anything else? What do you think, guys? So before we get on to my list, there's some champions that I would definitely use, but I'm limiting myself here and I'm trying to think, okay, these 8 champions I'll try to pick not only legendaries, I'll pick epics and I'll pick rares, of course. Okay, so let's start on with the first one in my list, and that's gonna be Venus. So Venus is a Sacred Order legendary champion. I love Venus. She was my first ever legendary champion. That might be the reason why I like her so much within my team. I would say that she's the best one to get in terms of progressing very quickly in many areas of the game at the same time. She's got a fantastic kit. She's got 3 different skills that work great in separate areas and together as well. So the poisons are great as a single target, taking down bosses, taking down the clan boss. The A2 has a defense down and a weaken debuff, which is desperately needed by many accounts out there trying to take down those dungeon waves extremely fast and then go to the boss, and then finally once you reach the boss, take that down. So this defense down and weaken on a 3-turn cooldown, fantastic. Only 4 books required. And then we have her A3, which is an HP burn, an additional fantastic skill for the spider dungeon, which is extremely difficult to beat for a brand new account. So I would say, okay, Venus, I would have her in that account. I would immediately progress through the spider dungeon just by having those HP burns do their job. I'm gonna have the defense down and weaken available just to take those spiderlings down in the first couple of 10, 12, 14 stages of the spider, and then that's when the HP goes way up and you can't really take the spiderlings down as often as the previous stages. And then in the chance that you need to put her in the lead, she also has a fantastic aura that gives an HP boost by 33% to all your allies, which is fantastic. Next up for legendaries, I'm gonna use only 2 legendaries in this list. I didn't want to make it too OP and too crazy. I'll have only 2 legendaries, and I was very close in this one. I always say that this legendary is the best legendary to have in any account, and that's Krisk the Ageless. I would say that this is the best legendary to have, but for this specific list, as a champion to have in a brand new account, I wouldn't say Krisk would do the most amount of carrying to your team. I would say, I think, I might be wrong in this. I want to hear those thoughts as well, because I haven't picked him as my choice. He's a fantastic champion. Ally Protect, continuous heal. He's got a Provoke, increased defense, increased speed. Crazy, okay? He's got a passive where he brings in a shield and a decreased attack, a decreased defense when he gets attacked. He is just crazy good. But for both having a speed booster in arena, a protection, a guaranteed sleep debuff, and also a revive that gives you 100% term meter boost. I would say Sifi the Lost Bride is my second legendary and my final legendary in this list, in the top 8 list of voice that I would pick in a brand new account. Fantastic champion. Nobody doubts how great her utility is. Every single skill that she has is useful in an area of the game, especially arena. She shines in there with her Rotos the Lost Groom. If you do get him, both of them together are crazy. I'm just waiting for my Sifi in the future. She'll come eventually. And then she also has an ally resist in all battles by AT boost as an aura if you want to do that instead, and just cause a ton of havoc in arena, like especially the early arena. If you've got lots of resist, nobody can touch you because nobody has that much accuracy in the beginning. So a brand new account would just skyrocket with Sifi the Lost Bride in there. In the leader slot. Next up, we're going into the epics category. I'm definitely curious on what you guys think of the epics that I would pick for this one, but remember, I'm trying to get progression on this account. Progression is not only arena, it's not only dungeons, it's also clan boss. And which is the easiest team to get progression, like immediate progression to the clan boss and reach that ultra nightmare clan boss difficulty as soon as possible? As long as you got some gear going, the speed requirement is not that high. You need some champions, and that's of course gonna be Maneater. Where's my Maneater? There he is. Maneater provides an unkillable debuff to your whole team on a 5-turn cooldown, and when you do have the right setup going, the speed requirements are very small. And even a brand new account, like a month-long account, if that account focuses on clan boss only, then that account can definitely use a Maneater in there and do the budget unkillable. Budget unkillable works wonders. It can easily 3-key an ultra nightmare clan boss and start getting those sacred shards the soonest that you can in an account, I would say. Of course, gear is not something that you can order through Amazon or something. You still have to farm it, but as long as you can get some of your champions to the speed of 240, then Maneater will do the job. And now I'm saying this about an account having all these champions. I'm also assuming that that account would have the books, because books are a huge requirement in this game. But let's say that this account has all the books available to book every single one of the champions I've been saying so far. And next up, we're gonna need a Nuker champion. So immediately when I thought about a Nuker champion in the Void category, I said, okay, we've got Knight's Revenant, we've got Skull Crown. She is so good in nuking. She's got a great A2, hits very hard. She's got an A1 that can double hit if the enemy has more than 50% HP. She's got an unkillable buff on herself when she gets attacked and her HP drops low. She would be great in this role. But I definitely remember that we had a recent addition to the epic champion pool of a recent Nuker in the Shadowkin. It's Genbo. We've got 10x going on right now. I think Genbo would be the better choice here for a Nuker. Why am I saying this? His requirements for speed are way not for speed, for gear are way lower than Skullcrown. Although he has lower stats, he can get to 100% crit rate and 100 and more critical damage with just his A3. Look at that. 30% increase in critical rate buff and 30% increase in critical damage buff just through his own skill. And then he gains an extra turn. He can then go with his nuke, which his nuke also can just take away those buffs if any buffs are on the team. Fantastic in terms of nuking, I would say. Way better than Skullcrown for arena nuking, okay? For dungeons, Skullcrown may be way better because Genbo has an A1 that attacks a single target instead of an AoE like Skullcrown has. So maybe for dungeons, Skullcrown would have been the better choice. But because he has a relatively short cooldown on his A2, which is the burst, and his A3 is something that he can rotate through with a 4-turn cooldown, basically a 3-turn cooldown, because he gains an extra turn, I think he is a more suitable Nuker in this team that I'm building, in this account that I'm building. Next up, in any team, you're gonna need a Debuffer. So a Debuffer will be a champion that applies both a decreased defense and maybe a decreased attack. There's not many of them in this game, but the strongest one right now, even using the platinum tiers of the arena, is, yeah, that's right, Madame Serris. Madame Serris, fantastic champion. Undeniably a champion that needs a slot in my team. I would say don't go anywhere in arena if you don't have at least one Madame Serris. She's gonna make your life so much easier. that remove all buffs from enemies and then decrease attack, decrease defense on them. They try to nerf it, but she's still great. Fantastic champion. She applies a shield on herself also. She can actually steal some buffs as well with her A2, and she can also apply a block debuff buff on her allies. A1 also can apply a fear. Overall, fantastic champion for this situation. She can be both used in the arena and the dungeons. Undeniably a solid member of this team that I'm building, of this fantasy account team with 8 void champions. And then finally guys, for the epics, I'm gonna say my final epic for this one. Then I'm gonna go through 2 rares. So the final epic in this category, it was a bit difficult to choose because this champion specifically requires a lot of setup to work. And you've guessed it already when I said the word setup, and that's gonna be Seer. So Seer is undeniably a champion that is needed for stages 21 to 25 of the dungeons. If you want to have a fast team, Seer is gonna be your girl. You'll need a lot of setup. You'll need the defense down on weekend, but we're gonna have that from Venus. You're gonna need a lot of buffs. We're gonna have that from Sifi. So you're gonna need a defense down. You're gonna have that from Madame Serris. So this team already has the kind of setup, and then we'll need Seer. So Seer will come in there with her Karma Burn and just take down all the enemies relatively quicker than any other Nuker could. She works great in arena as well, but not as good as, let's say, Genbo for the beginning when you're still trying to get some gear. You need that extra critical rate and critical damage just to get those hard to take down targets actually down and kill them, get those wins. So once you've got a good team going, then you'll need your Seer built correctly so that you can farm those dungeons fast and quickly. I think Seer is a definite choice for this one. So let's go over the rares now. So final 2 rares. One of them is of course going to be a Coldheart. No account can go anywhere without a Coldheart. Undeniably, I would say she is an MVP in every account in one time or another. She's never used in the arena. She's never used on the clan boss, but she's definitely used in the dungeons. She's been used to beat down bosses. Her A3, her Heartseeker, just works wonders. 100% turn reduction, enemy max HP based damage, and also extra 30% chance to crit. It means that you can lower your requirements for gear on her. You just need speed, you just need critical damage, and that 70% chance to crit in order to get your Coldheart going with a lot of big hits. She will be the key into beating many of the bosses, and in combination, let's say, with the Venus that this account would have, Spider shouldn't be an issue in terms of getting that turn meter down. You're gonna have one Coldheart, you're gonna have that Venus is gonna do wonders in just progressing through. And then finally, there's so many void rares. Fortunately, there's no void uncommons, which I do love. Going over uncommon champions, no void uncommons, guys. There's so many other voids that I could go over. Let's say Bellower, I could have gone Paragon to do the cheeses, beat the Nightmare campaign. Those would do okay, but whatever. They wouldn't do as much as Painkeeper would. So unfortunately or fortunately, in this list that I've made, I've put Maneater in there. And if you want to do your Maneater and killable budget team, you're gonna need Painkeeper. Unless you got an extremely high amount of speed, which is gonna be unlikely in a brand new account or an account that's as young as in this scenario, in this fantasy scenario. Painkeeper would make my situation making that budget killable way easier. She only needs to be about 218, 220 speed to make that team work, and that team can beat the Ultraman killable, Nightmare killable, and of course the Brutal. So that you can go through all the bosses with the same team, the same kind of setup. As long as you know how to build it, it just works wonders. I think this was a fun fantasy draft, okay, of champions. So only 8 champions picked. I didn't want to go overboard. I could have picked, only legendaries. Could have picked warlords. I could have picked, Turnvolt there in terms of nukers. Just go overboard with that. But I just picked 2 legendaries, very, very strong legendaries, just so that I could limit my options and make me think harder in which other champions I could pick. I could actually have picked only 1 legendary, and I think I would still pick Venus instead of anybody else. What do you guys think of this fantasy draft? What would have been your champions? If you watched this far, then you don't mind going over to the comment section and write down all the champions that you would pick instead. And if they're close to mine, then that's great. I'll read through the comments and leave my likes to the ones I think are the best choices or better than mine. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, good luck with your void summons this weekend, extended weekend. I hope you guys get what you want. I only have 15 voids here. I tried pulling some, but I leave 15 because on Sunday we're gonna have the guaranteed champion, epic champion. That's gonna be Ursula, another great epic carry, but was not in my list. So 15 voids. I'm gonna be opening those up on Sunday. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.